Hello, everyone. Why do I look like I'm like 85? I mean,
You're
85 is a great age. Hi, my name is Waylon, and I'm the founder of Elephant, and
I'm Kelsey, and
what's your last name?
Lewis.
What's mine?
What is your last name?
Lewis. I took your
Wow.
name.
You did.
And
You took it and ran with it.
in honor of Melania Trump, I'm wearing this hat so that it's hard for Kelsey to kiss me.
Yeah.
And we got married a few months ago. We're doing a video with Anjie Cho, who has become one of my favorite guests, because she's an expert in an area that I only know enough about to be dangerous regarding. That was a long sentence. And that is love, and that is Feng Shui. All right, here we are. So we're going to talk about the new year and love and
Hey, we did it.
Anjie.
You're like my fairy godmother, even though I'm probably much older than you.
No, you're not.
We
You're
won't go over our ages. We're both around 39 years old.
no, not really, but
Between all of us, we're around 40, I think.
yeah, we average 39 years old.
We're in our late 30s.
Yeah, I'm bringing the average up. All right. So, what are we discussing today, Anjie? Feng Shui and love, relationships.
Yes.
So a lot of us, like myself, are incredibly charming, humble, intelligent, good-looking, and yet we don't find love for so long because, despite our immense humility, our mudroom right behind me is messy or something like that. I'm being silly, but is that sort of the gist of Feng Shui, that some part of our life could be off or twisted or clogged up?
Well, I think that everyone has their own specific reasons for their challenges with their love life, because obviously it's very complicated, or else everyone would be in the perfect relationship, right? But I think that when we talked, it was a year and a half ago or so.
I think that's about right.
Yeah, we looked at doing a feng shui of your home, and one thing we can look at in someone's feng shui in their home layout is to see if there's something that can be, blocking or not allowing for a partnership in their life. And that doesn't mean that everyone with this situation can't find a partnership, because sometimes they don't have problems. Some people, some people that are always in a relationship, they never have problems like finding a partner, or they have a great relationship. That's not the thing they need to work on in their life. But for you, when we looked at your house, we laid the Bagua mandala on your home, which is like a feng shui tool. And I was like, well, I know what you didn't even, I don't think you even mentioned you wanted to work on finding a partner, but it came up in the conversation, and I knew from like
Probably
all
because
your
I'd mostly given up. I mean, I
yeah
hadn't totally given up, but I felt like pretty, I was 48, 49. I felt, you have this feeling when you're dating at 48 or 49 and you're like looking for a commitment and love and relationship. I mean, I'd of course fallen in love, but where you're like, okay, which way will it not work out this time?
yeah
You're like waiting for the other shoe to drop.
right. It's a bummer. So especially for people who really are longing for a partnership. So I noticed that in your home that both of you live in now, the relationship area related to or it was actually positioned where your mudroom is. So we went through this exercise where I asked you about your mudroom, and the folks listening can go back to that old recording. But it like if you want to, for the people listening who, if they want to figure out their relationship area, basically you could stand in the door of your home, the front door of your home, looking in the far right corner is where your mudroom is. And that was also the way that you described your mudroom, was like, well, it has a lot of junk in it. There's an extra door. People just come in and out. I just pile stuff there that I don't need to, that I don't want to think about. And
the mudroom, like for a lot of people, it's probably the situation where you use it more than you use your formal entrance,
Mm-hmm.
which is also an issue that you and Kelsey and I are always like, let's go through our front entrance just to make sure we have good feng shui
Anytime
going.
we're entering like the front of the house, we always try to do that instead of going around the back.
Very good.
But
You've been listening.
Mudrooms are like where we bring our bags, you know, our backpacks, our you know, our groceries, our jars that we mean to recycle but don't get to it, or you know, whatever it is. So things accumulate a little bit. Boots.
Yeah. Well, for you in particular, it was like a room that accumulated things. So my suggestion was, why don't you go through it and kind of let go of things and allow some fresh energy in there, because maybe like the words and phrases you used to describe your mudroom could have described your love life. Like, you know, you were dating, maybe you dated people, they weren't staying, they were going.
Revolving door.
Yeah, exactly. Revolving door.
Cluttered, full of beautiful objects. No, I'm kidding.
But you know, also people, the part about the mudroom is that people get concerned about, and it like when they hear about the mudroom or having an additional door. It's not a bad thing. It just means that like when you have a side door or a back door, a door represents a portal, right? Like that's how you walk in and out of your home. That's how the chi or the energy enters. That's how people enter. And so having this additional door can be a bonus, but maybe for you, you didn't want people to come in, a romantic relationship to come in and then out. You were really longing for a long-term relationship, someone that would stay with you, right?
Yeah, I didn't want them to come in my cluttered back door.
So did you actually do anything in your mudroom?
Well, yeah, I mean, in a way, this is like a cool part for listeners, because I definitely did. It's not like everything became perfect. So I did clean it up, but like it would get crazy again. And I think in a way that's life. Like it's a practice that you keep coming back to instead of a destination. So we're in the back. There's lovely Kelsey. And then it's still kind of cluttered, but it's also kind of wonderful. So this is literally coming in the back door. The dogs are playing. You can see Winnie back there. And then here's the bench. This is mostly Kelsey and Leo, her little son's shoes. The windowsill, super cluttered, right? All cool stuff, but cluttered. Some old flowers, lots of dog leashes, all of our coats and hats. Pretty neat, but a lot of it. Yeah. Dog food. We're doing laundry right now, so it's on the line. Beautiful dog door that's really fun.
But I think what we've been trying to do lately too is like clear out a lot of the clutter. Like we just recently gave away any of our clothing that had polyester in it, so everything that we kept is cotton or wool. And we just gave back a bunch of empty glass jars from.
So we do zero waste grocery. So that's what those jars are.
So this is kind of like a catch-all space, I would say still, but I think it's a lot of things we do together and enjoy doing together, like laundry and.
Yeah. So and there's all my shoes behind here, boots. So you wouldn't call it like.
There's always more, I think.
Super neat, but it's also.
We have this from you, Angie.
Oh yes, yeah, the monkey for the year.
For this year.
But you have a monkey too.
Yeah.
I'm the permanent monkey.
And then I have, mine is on my.
Oh, good, because you do need that on your body if possible.
Yeah, those are little talismans from Anjie. Oh,
yeah, I need to make a whole bunch. Look, this is Korean slave labor here. I have to make like a whole bunch to send.
Oh my God, you made all those?
They're not made yet. I make them. I hand make them all. So, but they're on my desk because I have to make them sometime soon. I think that, so number one, I think that there's a misconception that like Feng Shui equals minimalist, and absolutely not. Okay. Like, it doesn't have, you can have a lot of things in your home and you love it. And obviously, like, I think what you said, Waylon, is really important, because just like life and and a relationship, you can't just clean it work on it once and it's just set in stone and it's perfect. No, of course you have to continually work on it every day. So that's kind of a reminder of that room, I think.
Yeah.
And then you found
And
a
honestly,
partner.
like half the time it's worse than that. Like, you know, like we cleaned it up last week because we're having realtors come by and all this stuff, but because we might be moving, but you know, it's still like a realistic space that isn't perfect.
Well, I mean, that is actually what we would say more yang. Like a yin space would be like a room, like just imagine a white room with nothing in it. There's no life. There's a lot of death there. So that space is now alive and it's moving and it has 3 people going in and out of it, or more, you know.
And a dog.
Yeah, and the dog. But the difference is, I think that you realize, okay, there may be some like indication that this room has something to do with like my inability to find a partner, and I'm gonna like do something, like move things around, let go of some things, give this area some attention with the intention that you want to bring in a long-term partnership. And then I think you and Kelsey started talking, right?
Yeah, like I mean, honestly, that's why we invited you to the wedding. Like it almost felt like a trigger, like you know, a trigger. I mean, I don't have a gun, but like you pull it and it goes tink. It was like that. It was like I did it, and then we were talking. We had talked once before, quite a while, and kind of got to know each other. But we started talking again, and we just, boom, it just flowed from there. I asked her out. You know, she came out here. She was living in far away, and so yeah, it just kind of took off.
I think that gives, and you know what, your story gives a lot of people hope. Like, think back to like before you guys met, like how difficult that is when you really are ready to meet a partner and you feel like you know, it's not going to happen. And to recognize that we can see that our environment affects us, and whether or not you believe in Feng Shui, it's still, you could believe that it's helpful to move things around your home with intention and recreate your environment with the intention that you want to invite somebody into your life. Like, that's huge. Like, one thing I tell people, like, I had a friend that was like internet stalking someone or Instagram stalking someone, and she sent me the picture of their bedroom, and it was like a single bed up against the wall with like one pillow and a dog on it.
Right.
And that tells you, oh, that person is not in
They're
any
not
place.
looking.
They're not looking. Yeah.
When you bought this house 17 years ago or so, what was your, because you had envisioned, you know, space for a family and for eventually, you know, you had a patient wait, definitely, but like for eventually welcoming in a partner and eventually children, which you kind of got right off the bat with me and Leo. But
my mantra was with Gene and RC, who work on my house, this elderly couple who works on the house. They're incredible crafts people. I would always say, forget what it was, but it was something like, it would just come up and again and again. I'd be like, well, if I have a family, or when I have a family, we want this space to be here. You know, like we were doing it with a family in mind the whole time. And
now they adore Leo. And
and yet it felt like, honestly, it felt impossible. It felt, at a certain point, you know, I'd fallen in love, I'd had serious relationships, but it felt like, you know, how you have that checklist of like things you want, compatibility wise or common interests wise or whatever. Like, you know, some of them are profound things, like you want someone who, you know, is an environmentalist and, you know, wants to live in relative harmony with our planet. That's a big thing. Other things are small, like you want someone who does or doesn't have tattoos or whatever it is. In my case, I fear tattoos and I run from them. But you know, so there's silly and serious things, but at a certain point the list is here and you're like, it's never going to happen. And then for me, Feng Shui isn't like belief. It's really just, it feels, I really fell in love with it back in the 90s when I worked for Shambhala Publications in Boston. I really felt organic and natural, like a way to find harmony with your space and even how you put yourself in that space, kind of like you talking about that single bed with the guy with his dog and one pillow. You know, how you're dealing with yourself in your space is saying a lot, whether you know it or not.
Yeah, actually, when I first learned Feng Shui, I took this class, and the first thing I learned was how to position my bed. And I had my bed up against, like, it was a roommate situation. It was a bed up against the wall, and it was not in the best position. And so what I realized when I learned, so I moved my bed to the commanding position. So basically, so I could see the door, and then I had space on both sides of the bed because I had my bed pushed up against the wall. Because, when you're in your 20s, you're like, oh, you're in a roommate situation, you have the most space like that. But then I realized, like, I didn't create a space to invite a partner. And then, like, I had my own epiphany. I was like, oh my gosh, all my boyfriends had been sleeping on the inside, and I was like trapping my boyfriends, because nobody wants, it's very practical. Like, who wants to sleep on the inside, right? And that's like a very basic feng shui tip. If you want to bring in a partner, make sure you have a space for them, which can translate to, do you have space on both sides of the bed? Do you have like a nightstand on each side of the bed? They don't have to be matchy, but is it equal, or is it like really, are you making it really difficult for like a partner, like, to come into your life? Like, you have one nice pillow and one like crappy pillow. Like, what does that say, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, even today, I have a really beautiful bed, but Kelsey sleeps on the floor, which is really, no, I'm teasing. No, I was thinking of our bed. We have a beautiful, like, huge California king bed because I'm tall, so I like long and wide. And we have, like last time you were saying we should have a headboard. We use these big organic pillows and this beautiful antique Japanese quilt sort of as a headboard in a way, but we don't have a formal headboard, which Kelsey's always talking about.
I always keep my eyes open for one that's big enough.
Yeah. And we'll definitely have one where we move. And then, we only have narrow spaces on both sides to get to the bed, or you can jump on the bed because it's such a wide bed. So I wonder what that sort of says about the space. But we both have nightstands, and we both have lamps and, books and all that kind of stuff.
Well, it sounds balanced. If you're doing the best you can. If there's only a narrow amount of space, it's not that one person has more space than the other. See, that's where there's an imbalance. Like, I've seen partners where one partner has like a tiny little something, and then the other partner has like a lot of room, right? And it's not comfortable for the other person.
Yeah, Kelsey has a little less space, but it's spacious.
Yeah,
it's tall.
And I have under the original
wide space, but it's
slant.
Literally like
it's under the original. The original roof to the house. Yeah, it's a really creative. We could show you. It's a really creative, cool space, but yeah, it's a little funky. It's an old Victorian house. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you've kind of balanced it. Like, one person has more spaciousness, and then one person might have a smaller area to walk, because each room is different, so it really depends. But I think that's a key to kind of notice, like, notice that there is a balance, and notice when there is an imbalance that's happening over and over again. So like say a couple is dating, but they don't live together yet, and they're the other person, like, you're always staying at someone's house, but they're not making the space for you. And that speaks 1,000 words, right?
Totally. What about, we're doing this one in honor of Valentine's Day. We're releasing the video and podcast pretty soon. What about, one thing I appreciate and love about you is not only Feng Shui, but there's like a Shambhala or meditation Buddhist connection. So what's the meditation or mindfulness or, caring, compassion aspect of Feng Shui well, that's my question.
Okay, so like, what's a connection that we can make for romantic partnerships? Well,
Yeah, I was trying to put all three together. Thank you. But I mean, like Feng Shui, again, isn't just an ancient art that is appropriate for modern times, but there's a meditation or mindfulness angle. And then we're talking about all of that in view of love and relationship.
Yeah, I think that, sometimes, and there's nothing wrong with this, but there's a lot of people that come to Feng Shui for very, like, there's not much depth to what they're looking for. They're just like, can I use it to make money and to find a partner? But we all know that if it were that easy, it would be that easy, right? So there's an invitation to really unpack and go deeper. So I'll just pull up the Feng Shui map. This is mirrored, but this pink area is like, it's mirrored. But the pink area is the relationship area, but it's actually directly related to the knowledge area. So, because they're across from each other on the mandala. So it's really important for people to remember, like, it's not that simple. Like that sometimes in order to attract a partner, you have to work on yourself first. So, and also that area, that's the relationship area, that's your mudroom area. There's many different layers to that. It's not just about finding a life partner. It can be your work relationships. It can be the relationship with your mother. It could be Kelsey as a mother. It could be how different, like how you show up as mother, your relationship as a mother, how you mother things. If you can receive help as a mother, it's also your internal organs.
For me, so
yeah,
there's any tips.
There's a lot there. So it's like, it's related to your internal organs, your reproductive organs. It's related to also like that soft, it's very yin. So how do you, in the I Ching, it's kun, so it's the most yin trigram. So it's like the most receptive. So there's a lot of invitation to look into like, so there's definitely people listening that maybe are in a relationship only. So they're like, well, how can Feng Shui help me if I'm already in a relationship, right? So you can use all these things to support an existing relationship, or if you need to heal before, heal from a breakup, you can still work with the same area to heal that aspect of your heart. So like one simple way is, like, for instance, maybe if you're healing from a relationship, maybe you get like a really one nice pillow for yourself, and you donate donate the other pillow that belonged to the partner. Maybe you clear the space. One important thing too is to see what's under the bed. Like if you have like anything in your home or around your bed that's related to your ex, that's a way to kind of start to let go as well, like during a breakup.
I was thinking more, we have dust bunnies. Not that many. Well, we clean it, but they're just always creeping back.
Well, I could ask you a personal question. I could tell you, if you're looking to have another kid soon, don't clean up the dust bunnies.
Don't clean
up the dust bunnies.
Oh.
Really?
Maybe that's why they left them.
Yeah, Kelly, our house cleaner just kind of missed some of them, and I was complaining about that.
She's like, give me a baby, give me a baby.
Yeah. So in Feng Shui, we think there's something like called Ling particles, and they say Ling particles like kind of gather around you, and you want them to collect, and you don't want to sweep them away while you're trying to get pregnant.
Wow.
Interesting. That, I mean, as a doula and someone who's been pregnant and had a baby before, that just makes sense with like the physiology of the womb, and because
like cozy
and a good environment for the growth of the baby, essentially.
Wow. Okay, dust bunnies.
I mean, if you have a huge one, you could get rid of it, but it's like, don't like be so crazy about like sweeping under the bed. Also, like, you want to, like, once you do get pregnant, you want to try to avoid any like renovations, because that's restructuring the house.
What about moving?
Well, I think moving is different than restructuring is like taking apart your body, and doing surgery on your body in a sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good to know, because we do love, as we're looking at places, we do love a fixer-upper and everything. And
yeah, maybe don't get a fixer-upper while we're conceiving and being pregnant.
Okay, so for like, this is another Valentine's tip, kind of our love tip, is that if you're feeling disconnected from your current partner, or actually in general, you need to watch out for any kind of splits in the bed, like a split box spring. So you don't have one, but sometimes a lot of people don't have box springs anymore. But if you have a mattress and then a box spring for a king size bed, it's usually 2 different box springs, and that's a split in the relationship. So you want to avoid that.
Yeah, for us, like, yeah, I will, not to get TMI, like, we have lots of fun and good connection in the bedroom area of our home, but we are trying to conceive, and I'm older, and there's some concern about that. We don't know about any problems, but we haven't conceived yet, and we're having fun trying, as the saying goes. We're gonna go inside because I think Kelsey might have farted pretty badly, and
Smells like a gas
we
leak.
just smell gas. Yeah. Whew. What else would be helpful for folks in terms of? I mean, anyone can ask questions, but in terms of Valentine's, Feng Shui, mindfulness, meditation, all that.
Well, I can give some tips. So if you're looking for a partner, definitely, like what we talked about, make sure you have space on both sides of the bed. Make sure you don't have a twin bed, because that means you don't have any space.
Okay.
And you want to try to have that equal spacing for that balance. And even if you're single, you could still do this, because you want to eventually make space for a future partner. But at the same time, it also balances your yin and yang, right? So it balances your masculine, your feminine, and all these other aspects that don't necessarily have to relate to finding a partner. And then for folks who are not in a partnership, sometimes that Valentine's Day can be a little bit, a bummer. And so there's some things that you could just do for self-care and self-love. So in Feng Shui, we look at the elements, and there's an element called the earth element. And the earth element is like Mother Earth. It's very supportive, it's stable, it's nurturing. So sometimes people can bring in more earth element at this time to kind of, if you were feeling how Waylon was feeling like a year and a half ago or 2 Valentines ago, right? Maybe you want to soothe yourself and support yourself a little bit more. So ways that you could do that is you can bring the earth element into your home or into your, environment by like the colors. So like, for instance, the colors of earth element are yellow, brown, and earthy tones. So you can either start wearing those, or you could wear like maybe earthy crystals, like fancy jasper, or you could also or put them near your bedside table for support. I also really love like rose quartz, which is pink, which is also like soothing for the heart. And you could get 1 to kind of work on yourself, or you could do 2 to work on a new partnership or an existing partnership. But other ways you can bring in earth are like bring in a rug. Like a rug is flat and rectangular, which is earth element, which is also like very stabilizing and grounding. Like put that under your bed or something.
What's the earth element for if you're single?
Earth element in general is like supportive and nurturing. Just like when you're walking, you always know that you're connected to the earth. Or like, when we meditate, the first thing we do is take our seat and connect to the earth and allow the earth to hold us, right? So, she's always there to support us. When we go out walking, we don't worry that the floor is going to give out underneath us. So there's always this constant support that Mother Earth is offering us. So to really to acknowledge that and to know that you're not alone is really a supportive thing to do, especially if you feel very lonely on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that would be my follow-up question. Thank you for that wisdom. To Molly or whoever asked that, is about being single, is if you want to be in a relationship or not, because that's very different. Like being single, like me and my best friend for many years, we both would say, we're pretty happy being single. Like obviously we both expected to be in love and married and all this, but we have a good life. We like our community and our life and our home and our mission, So we're kind of okay with it, you know?
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if someone wanted to just work on their self-care, they could still work on, again, that relationship area and just focus on the aspect of taking care of themselves. Like you could figure out the relationship area of your bedroom, just like stand in the door of your bedroom looking in, and the far right corner is the relationship area. And you could just look at like either what's there. What do you guys have there in that corner?
We have our hearth.
We have a little electric fireplace.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is really cute.
Yeah, and we have some cozy chairs around it.
Yeah, cozy armchairs and a rocking chair and a big rug around it.
Yeah, it's very fiery.
And beautiful views, like beautiful. Right.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's a really good thing to have in the relationship area. And if it
show you.
Okay.
Do you want to see the bedroom?
Yeah.
I don't know how much we made our bed. She made the bed, but you know.
I made it loosely to go play with the dog.
But yeah, we still have some Christmas stuff up down here, which is kind of funny. It's like hard to move on. See our eco Christmas trees?
Oh, I love it.
Really fun. These are all
nice.
3.
Oh, 3.
Yeah.
So the folks, like, if they want to work on their relationship area, they could put something there that represents, like, they can dedicate and carve out that spot and to see what's going on there, and they could either focus that area on their self-love or on inviting a partnership. So this is the bedroom. You were saying stand in the doorway. Okay. And then over here, you see that electric fireplace. Ah, cute. Yeah, she's turning it on. It kind of glows more, not on camera, or when it's darker. This is Winfield's bed. Nice. Which is like a cabin. Nice little tent. Yeah.
We also have
the armchairs.
Katas from our wedding over here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big mirror. Books. Here's Winnie. Nice. And then there's the tree house and the big mountain, the dragon energy, I think, is up there. Oh, right. Yeah. And then let me see your bed. This is the bed. Nice. So yeah, Kelsey walks in on that side. See how it's kind of narrow? Yeah, that's okay. But it's tall, it's spacious up here. And then I walk in on this side, it's wider, but it's kind of like slanty. Yeah, you gave her the better side. Also, you're protecting. You have the better side. Her.
I do.
Yeah, because you're closer to the door, Waylon, so you're protecting her. Aw, I like that. I like my side as well.
Winnie's closest to the outside door, so he's
she's also protecting you. But a lot of moms end up sleeping closer to the door because they have to get up and attend to the kids all the time.
Well, Waylon will be helping out with that quite a bit when we do have.
Good.
You want to sit here?
Yeah.
Wait, I do have another comment since I'm seeing your bedroom now. Okay, so you have the double door. You have double doors going in and double doors right across from the front door for the doors. We have 2 big glass doors on both sides. Ooh. Okay, so the double doors. Light, like this is divided light, Yeah. But the other one is just open. So, I mean, you guys are moving, so it's not that important to correct it, but I should say that the double doors can also indicate like relationship problems. Like it's a big opening because think of like there's actually a Jewish prayer that talks about like may the door be wide enough to welcome everyone. So when you have a wide door, you welcome a lot of people. Right. So for you, I would designate one door to use. Yeah. And
oh, interesting.
Well, we kind of do that. That's cool because one door locks. Yeah. So we pretty much go through the other door mostly, but not exclusively. But Kelsey's actually super into polyamory, so not really.
No judgment, but
yeah, no judgment.
Yeah. No judgment.
What if it's a French door that's like true French doors that are smaller, like you have to open both of them to move through? Is it more of like a double door thing or just having a wide enough space for like you and your lover to go through or something?
So you're talking, okay, if you're talking about smaller doors, that's a different issue, but But in this case, yeah, I'm talking about like it's a lot of chi to come in and out of the bedroom when you want it to be a very private space.
The cool thing about it is the back of the house, and you saw it's sort of a windy way to get there. So it's not like you can walk in the front door or back door of the house and be there easily.
Yeah. But I would still designate, you could also you like to have bells on the door, right? Put a little bell on the door.
Bells everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. Put a bell on
we have bells on the entrance doors. We have bells on all the doors.
Okay, good. Yeah. And those too. Because also, so you have that double door in the fame and visibility area of your bedroom. So, well, one thing is like it's kind of not great to have the doors aligned. So
I remember that the shotgun shack thing is not good.
Yeah. So if you can, you could hang up. I could send you one Feng Shui crystal ball from the ceiling, somewhere between the two doors.
Crystals and like stained glass birds and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. So you have those crystals. Okay.
And then on the other one that's behind me, there's a bunch of like stained glass too, partially for that, and partially so birds don't fly into the windows.
But that's really good to know, because we're looking at some prospective homes, and like the one that we just looked at yesterday, it's like there's the front of the house, and then the front entrance is on the side of the house, and then it goes straight to a door that's on the side porch. So it is kind of that.
Well, I was telling Molly we could do another follow-up call where we look at like Feng Shui for a new home or Feng Shui for selling your home. But
you should become a realtor.
Get on Zillow with us.
We need the Feng Shui realtor.
Well,
that would be so amazing.
A lot of my students are realtors.
But it would be so amazing. You don't even have to be a realtor, which you probably don't want to be. But oh my God. But
I don't want to be a realtor.
Yeah, but it would be amazing to have like you inspect, like a Feng Shui inspector. So is that bottom door?
Yeah, sometimes I do. Sometimes my clients hire me.
Doesn't sound good.
And they show me like they ask me which floor plan would be better for them to move into. So you want to hear this, Kelsey. So you have that double door in the fame and recognition area of your bedroom. So that can mean, now that you guys are married, that it can mean that you have a lot of people saying things. It's a possibility for people talking behind your back about having opinions about your relationship. So
the openness in that part of the home,
right? Because also
kind of catalyze that.
Yeah, because also the doors represent the mouth, so it can mean like communication. Right. But it's also that like it's that part of the home and that part of the bedroom. So you can, but you have the bells, right? So make sure there's a bell on both door leaves, with the intention that if people are going to say something, that you just know about it.
Yeah.
Everyone has an opinion about everyone else, right? So you're just more in everyone's viewpoint, like people could see you more because you have two big doors that go out to a. Also, it goes down to, you can go down stairs from that location.
Spiral staircase.
Yeah. We
also have really good curtains that cover the doors too.
Good, but the bells are mainly the way, because it alerts you that and it also keeps, the bells will also keep those opinions at bay.
Good, I like that.
Yeah.
Let them ring.
Yeah, there's so many bells all over this house. It's really nice just practically, because people come over all day long with their dogs to play with our dog.
Yeah.
And you hear the bells on the gates, open, and then someone's here. And people don't just come in the house. They're hanging in the backyard, but
That's another question that I have is, like, we love having a sort of community-oriented home and people feeling like they can stop by, like, pretty much any time. And, we have the sounds of the bells on all the doors to know if someone's around or wants to hang out or whatever. And then there's also, like, more private times of day and private rooms and stuff like that. Do you have any tips on kind of how to balance that? Like, we usually like to kind of have cuddle and like intimate one-on-one time at the end of the day after the sun goes down, and every once in a while we'll have like friends over for a movie night or something like that. But like in the morning, if we sleep in or, you know, what have you, and like a play date comes over.
Wait,
to
what do
play
you
with
mean?
Winnie,
What have you? What are you getting?
What have you? ... comma. But do you have any recommendations on, I mean, especially since we're trying to conceive, like
Yeah.
how to sort of create sacred times in the day, or, you know, still keep a community feel for our house while also really like honing in on expanding our family and kind of the sanctity of that?
Yeah, I actually think that's a really important question, because I've worked with someone before who, you know, their parents, and this, you know, they're older now, like our age, but their parents had like a really open home too. And actually, one of the siblings tells me, like, even as an adult now, that she has nightmares of running around the home trying to lock all the doors, because because it could also be unsafe for a child, right? To have different people coming into the home. That said, because it was great for the parents, but maybe not safe for the children. So, I mean, it's something that, I'm just going to be honest, it's like something to consider. So maybe it is like having like having times where like you go around and you have doors locked, and like this is your home at this, and it creates a place of safety. Like maybe they're all connected, like, you know, Wi-Fi locks or something. But then but you're open at a certain time, because just because I know this, it can, because it could feel like the most important thing in a really helpful situation for parents, but we don't know if it's going to feel the same for a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do. I think, you know, in our case, we feel physically safe. You know what I mean? Like, and we do lock the front and back door generally, I think, when we're home, or at least 5 p.m. or something. But I think Kelsey's point is like people come in the backyard with their dog to play, starting at like 8 a.m. or whatever sometimes, and maybe a little later. And yeah, if we're still being kind of intimate and quiet and romantic, you know, that's a little bit jarring.
Yeah. Well, it could be like just simply like creating communication, like through signage even.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of like the old school, like sock on the door move in college, where, you know, you could even say like, even during like ovulation time or something like that, which, you know, like kind of honor the morning time and honor the evening time, and you don't know what you're going to get in the middle of the daytime.
Dogs are welcome after 9 a.m. while Kelsey's ovulating.
Yes.
We'll put up that sign.
Yes, you have to have clear boundaries.
Yeah.
I love that sign.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Kelsey's being really lovely about it. But like, I think that scenario where I'm very relaxed with like people coming in, I'm like, oh, okay, well, we'll just roll with it, you know? And that's an area where she goes from feeling very intimate and relaxed to feeling it's a bit jarring sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. So you just have to communicate that the boundaries are no longer the same anymore.
We could have a water pistol and just at them. They come in.
Yeah, but even just like you know, office hours are open, office hours are closed, you know?
Yeah.
Winnie is open for dog days.
Yeah.
That would be so cute.
Dog playtime available, dog, you know, and then just that way, like everyone gets the memo. You just put it on the door, hopefully people will get it. And then maybe it is like having the doors locked so they can't come in until
no
you're
one ever
open.
comes in.
Oh.
No one ever comes in the house.
They knock, or they.
No, they don't even knock. They're just in the
backyard.
Oh.
Yeah.
The thing is, our bed is on the back, so there's a level of like, even if they can't see or there's none of that, there's a level of like someone's playing in the backyard with our dogs.
Oh, it's
and
distracting.
we're just upstairs. Yeah, you know, it's not exactly romantic.
No. Oh,
anyway,
I just thought of one other romantic thing.
That was a very specific challenge.
Do you have any you don't have, if you, do you, okay. It's not great to have pictures of family in the bedroom.
We have a big mirror and
like we have a picture of your mom somewhere.
We have a picture of Jimmy Carter. Yeah,
Jimmy really gets us going.
Yeah. Well, you know, because like that's also like for you guys, like I just did like I just looked at someone's house for apartment therapy, and they had a picture, I think, of their mom like facing them on their dresser.
Awkward.
And it's like, yeah, it's awkward, right? So like avoid family pictures.
No, we're not. We're not.
I don't think we have. I think we have
No
like
shade on your perverted friend, but you know, mom doesn't want to see that stuff.
Yeah.
And also, if you can, like, I notice a lot of single people who are looking end up having like images, like an image of a strong single woman, right? Because they were going through a breakup and they felt really inspired by the strong single woman. But like once you're ready to date or like get into a serious relationship, you can move the strong single woman somewhere else. For what? Because it's like, you know, you don't want to kind of really.
She is the strong woman, and now she's.
You don't want to enhance the single vibe even more in your bedroom. So that's a tip too.
Yeah, we have some birds and Jimmy Carter, and there is, what's that?
You were just farther than I thought.
Oh, there is a photo of my mom, but it's on the other side of the bedroom and it's not facing anyone, but we could still meet. It's inside of the bookshelf, but we could still like move it.
Yeah, maybe it's better somewhere else.
Although she is pregnant in that photo.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, she's pregnant with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll move that out of there. No mom in the bedroom.
No moms in the bedroom.
Only mom in the bedroom.
So I could there is a fertility feng shui cure, but it's like really, it involves like things under your bed and stuff and moonlight. You could do.
Oh yeah. Well, we can definitely get into it. I ovulate on the full moon, and I don't know if it's a feng shui thing to have a light on during that time in another room, but I've heard that from like some herbalist friends here.
Oh
we
no,
have moonlight, which is really nice because we have skylights, so we have moonlight directly on our bed. All right, well, you have been so generous with your time, and I always love your warmth and your wisdom, and thank you so much for helping me find this lady.
Aw, yeah, thank you, Angie.
You're
I remember
welcome.
like right after maybe your guys' call and you told Angie that we had started dating, you were like, when's the wedding? And then it actually happened like 6 months later.
Yeah. Congratulations again.
Well, have a wonderful day, and thank you so much. And
don't clean the dust bunnies.
All right, deal.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, Angie.